SantosGlobal.com/apply.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Bryant, whatever it takes.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
You've got used to one segment of Good Takes in the morning, but now there's a full show of Good Takes at night. Welcome into Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome in. Happy Monday night, everybody. National Championship going on. Nick Wyman alongside Chris Raff here on Raff's Good Take on Sports. First time I'm a Raff roadie officially. Sounds like it, Raff, right?
You look amazing.
I look amazing. Look at that. I'm already getting complimented. Big shoes to fill, though, with Harrison. Harrison is the MVP. He is the LeBron James of ticket weeknights. I am just his I'm the Dwayne Wade here. That's Miami Heat were my team, still are my team. I'm a Dwayne Wade guy, so I gotta rock with them. So, Raff, how are you doing? Obviously, there's a big game going on right now. 10-7 Indiana right now. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Been watching the game. First half, I think Indiana might regret now a little bit leaving a little bit out there in that first half. It felt like they controlled the pace of the first half, but man, the second half, the Miami defenses came out. They've been swarming, and then they had a big run, cut the game to 10-7. So I think we got ourselves a game down in the Hard Rock Orange Bowl Stadium or whatever they call it now. I believe it's the Hard Rock. I remember back in the day, it used to be called the Joe Robbie Stadium. The Miami Dolphins former owner back in the 80s, 90s, 70s. So yeah, I think we have a game on our hands now. It's going to be interesting to see what Fernando Mendoza does, because this has been the first time in the college football playoffs where he's been pressured a lot, and it's going to how they adjust to that. So I think this is where you'll see either the brilliance of Cignetti, or you will see Mario Cristobal returning Miami back to the top of the college football world.
I mean, yeah, there's some really good storylines coming out of this game, and I've been watching it off and on here, and it seemed like Indiana was like 10-0. I was like, here it comes. Here comes Indiana going to put up 28 points real quick on him. And just, I know Miami just had no offense there for a little bit. And I was like, did they figure out Carson Beck? Is Carson Beck going to make some plays? And here they are. I mean, 10-7, low score. I didn't think it should be a low scoring game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was curious. So my thought process, I've been having this flash through my head constantly over the last the last week and a half, is a little bit before your time, but 1983 Orange Bowl. I don't know why, but just the comparisons, everybody's starting to anoint Indiana as one of the greatest teams of all time. I've heard a lot of people call them that they're the most complete team that they've seen in so long. And I'm like, man, they're given all this the best, one of the best ever comparisons like that. And I was just flashing back to 83 Nebraska Miami game, and it was like Nebraska, everybody was calling them the team of the decade, team of the century, scoring explosion. They went down, and then they've run into an upstart Miami team. And what does this do? Miami ends up pulling off the upset against Nebraska. And then that was a springboard for Miami football, basically. That game on, January 1st, 1984, was the springboard to Miami football, to what we saw over like the next 15 to 20 years of that domination. So part of me fears what could happen tonight, because I'm afraid if Miami is somehow able to pull off this victory against Indiana tonight, you might see that springboard effect again with Miami football. So,
I mean, Miami's was kind of in the Nebraska realm, where it was like, is the U back or not? They had a couple years in there in the 2010s where it was like, okay, they're on the brink. They just never could win the big games. Here they are in a 12-team playoff model, 2 losses, didn't even win their conference, didn't even play in their conference championship. I remember people are talking, does the ACC even have a team that gets in? Because there was like, Notre Dame should get in over them. Miami gets in, and here they are as a 10 seed playing for, they're within reach of a national championship, the first one since 2001, I believe, which is, I was 3 years old the last time Miami won a championship in college football.
And that was against our Nebraska Cornhuskers there at the Rose Bowl. I was there that night. The trip was excellent, but the game was pretty much a dud.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm curious to see, how this all plays out. I think for Miami, like I said, if Miami somehow pulls this off, I think Miami is back for the most part. I think they have their coach, they have the support. It's cool seeing the support of, the former players and the players. Like, I feel like at Nebraska, I always feel like if you talk about old Nebraska football around current players, it's like a dirty word. Like, we don't want to, and I don't know why they can't coexist together. Like, they have, Ray Lewis on the sidelines, and Clinton Portis and Ed Reed and all these guys. I mean, they were the best of the best. And it feels like, they're putting their hands around these teams, and it's about the culture. And it's for like the last, 10, 15 years, I've always felt like when you talk about old Nebraska players to new Nebraska players, they sort of shut down, like, it's, and it kind of is upsetting. And I don't know if you blame the coaching staffs that have been down there or who it is, but there should be a link. There should be a bond between, they're, at the end of the day, they're all Nebraska Cornhuskers. There should be a bond or some sort of, I don't know. It frustrates me greatly, because I don't think when you talk about, past Nebraska football teams, it should be looked at as like a dirty word. It should be, looked at, respected, but then also realize that those former players want these current players to win just as bad as when they were down there, because it's the legacy that they've passed on. But so, I don't know. I hope one day that they can put something, where the bond is, where they can tighten that bond between, former players and current players, like you see at Miami. I mean, you are seeing it up front and personal. Like, as much as Michael Irvin, kind of a show stealer the way he's been the last couple weeks.
A little bit, you could say. He's all over the place. He's on all fours. He's doing his belt thing. He's a character as is. He's always been that way. That's not just him just on the sidelines acting like that's just Michael Irvin.
But you're seeing those current players, run to him after the games and giving him hugs and stuff like that. And it's just like, I see that and I'm just like, they can coexist. Great teams of the past can coexist with current teams. It really can be. There does not have to be some sort of like stigma to say, well, since you were 20 years ago, yes, you guys won national championships. And it frustrates me. And like I said, I go back to it. And I feel like that's a huge thing for Nebraska. It's like they want especially in today's age of college football, you need that past and the future to combine and mesh. And so I don't know, maybe it's just my own pet peeve. Maybe the listeners, maybe they'll text in and say I'm just completely crazy and just forget about the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, and the 60s and just, move on. But I just feel like what you're seeing with Miami and just the way those former players are, meshing with those current players, I think that's huge for a program and its culture. So that's me.
Yep. 402-464-5685. Text in if you think Chris Raff is crazy. There might be, there may be a little bit truth to that. So you wanted to talk about the NFL playoffs. I mean, here's my thing real quick. I think that the college football playoff is way too late. It's January, we're almost into February. And next year it's even later. It's like the 25th or something like that.
25th, yeah. Well, I think what first thing you got to do is get rid of the conference championship games. I think those need to go bye-bye. And you don't have to wait so long, because there were some teams that hadn't played in like almost 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks. You can start sooner. I think if you get rid of the conference championship games, I think you can get it to where you're ending your playoff, like right about now. I think it's about right, because you're kind of right in the thick of, NFL playoffs. Hey, go Broncos. Oh, did I say that out loud? No, but
hey, they're still alive. You got bragging rights.
But yeah, I think you just have to get rid of the conference championship games. And I really think that the conference championship games are if they continue the way they did this year, I think you're going to see a team or two eventually say, "Hey, we're not going to participate in the conference championship game." I think they're going to go with, "Hey, we're good with where we're sitting right now. We know we're in the playoff, so we're just gonna call it good where we sit." So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And at the end of the day, we always talk about this all the time. It's the money that runs, college sports. So I think if your conferences have that chance to make just as much money being in the college football playoff, which you've got to think, I still think, maybe they stick with 12 for, another year or two, but I think eventually it's going to go up to like a 16 or a 24 team playoff eventually. So
that's the plan. Allegedly, the Big Ten wants 24, SEC wants 16. Indiana just scored a touchdown, I think, on it was a special teams touchdown or something like that. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye here. They just scored a touchdown off of a block punt.
Yep.
Block punt touchdown. I mean, those are the plays that are going to win you games. Tom Chattel was on early on his show, and we talked about the Mike Eckler situation, which we talked about that. We talked about that for 25 minutes because that was, it's his first time talking about it. And it was just like, special teams, it's a sport where it can win you. Those are kind of plays. And we've seen in Nebraska where the special team struggles and it costs you games. Yeah. You've seen the wrong end of it. These are plays in a championship game in a tight game that are being made that are going to maybe impact. I mean, that play probably impacts the game in a big way.
Yeah. And that's another thing with special teams, like with Eckler, is it official now that he leave officially?
It's not. We're still in the Mike Eckler saga where we haven't. I mean, Tom Chattel is like, this is so awkward because it's like you're still on staff, but you're talking to other teams. It's just such a fascinating scenario. It's like, okay, if you want to leave, then go to you. I mean, go to you. He's, he wants to become a defensive coach. He wants to coach linebackers or whatever somewhere else. You can't do it here. Then do it. But it's such a weird scenario. It's been like almost a week since the report came up, but there's nothing. He's still listed. If you go to the Husker website, he's still listed as special teams coordinator at Nebraska. So it's
yeah, it's so weird to me because it's like usually something like that happens. It's like, oh, and by the way, Mike Eckler decided to go to USC, and then it's dragged on as long as it has. And then when you have the head coach commenting on it before he's even left, I mean, it's just this strangest thing that's happening, and it's I don't know, it's just weird. And then now Rule with like, if he wants to be here, he wants to be here. If he doesn't, he doesn't. So I don't know what that tells me. If I'm the head coach and if he's still, flirting with USC and the rumors are still out there, I guess it's one of those things where you either pick up the phone or you call him in your office and you have a face-to-face with him and you say, Mike, what's the deal? What's going on here? Are you with us? Are you going to USC? And I think you just have to, instead of, going through the press we never really know what's taking place. If Coach Rule's had him in his office, if they've spoke, that's the huge thing is like this, get it figured out. Like if he's leaving, he's leaving. If he's staying, he's staying. It should be. I think it could be an easy discussion. Because I think the parameters are on the board for what Coach Rule wants him, for Nebraska to be. I'm guessing Lincoln Riley has set the parameters for what he wants him to be at USC. So it's just a matter of where do you want to be? So I think it's just now it's the point where you just got to make that decision. If you're going to go. And if you're going to stay and just and call it good. But it shouldn't be having to drag out, almost a week and a half now.
So we were going to talk NFL in this segment. We'll just switch it. We'll talk college championship football in this segment. We'll talk NFL next. What another week. This Indiana team, I mean, what would this mean for college football? Because, we've seen the Alabamas and the Georgias and Oklahoma's made the playoff a number of times, Notre Dame, Clemson. Those are your every year it feels like they're in the playoff. You have an Indiana team who, I mean, a couple of years ago weren't even filling their stadium at all. Yeah. They were a basketball school. People weren't even looking forward to September. They were looking for those first couple November basketball games for the Hoosiers. Here they are, 10 points up on a historic football program. I mean, where would this rank among turnaround stories and not just college football, just sports in general?
Right now, I think it would be right up there with the Miracle on Ice, U.S. versus Soviet Union, Lake Placid, Al Michaels. Do you believe in miracles? I think it's right up there with that. I think what you're seeing with Indiana is we've been told for so long that if you don't have all the 5-star players, if you don't have all the top players, there's no way that you can compete. Kirk Sonetti's came in. He's doing this with, 8 4-star players on his roster, and everything else is lower than that. He's showing a lot of things. I think he's showing that you can develop players. Like I've heard a lot of people talk about, well, they've got a decent initiative where they're able to pay their player, but what has he paid? It's like everything that he's doing is what he's developed. People roll back to, well, he brought his James Madison players.
Yes. Yep. Well, James Madison.
That really raises I'm like, did you hear what you just said? I'm like, he brought James Madison players. It wasn't like he was coaching at, say Alabama and he went, or say Washington and say DeBoer was at Washington and he brought some decent players from Washington to Alabama with him. It wasn't like that. I mean, I know he brought, like DeBoer brought Bernard and Cuevas, the tight end, but I mean, this is Kirk Signetti that went out and like the first year he was there. I mean, Nathan Rourke was his quarterback. That was the quarterback for Ohio. That's a Frank Solich recruit. It's like what he has done. He's turned the college football world, basically he's going to turn it upside down. If he's able to win a national championship with Indiana, everything that a lot of people have said and talked about, I mean, he disproves all of it. And then if you're a coach out there and says, well, he's just a really great coach, what does that say about you as a coach? Like me, I'm watching this, I'm thinking, well, heck, if he can do this, it gives everybody a chance. I don't look at it as like, well, he's just so much better than everybody else. I see this as a door opening to where the belief is there, and what he's doing with that team, it's incredible. I will say that it is incredible, but for them to continue to play the way they do and being the complete team that they are, that just shows me just how well coached they are. We talked about the special teams touchdown. Every facet of their game, they're good on defense, they're good on offense, struggling a little bit on offense tonight with the pressure, but then you come and make special teams play. So yeah, it looks like Miami's in the red zone now. So
Malachi Tony caught a couple of passes. So I mean, he's Miami's guy. That is Miami's. I mean, he's only a freshman or whatever. That's crazy to say. I mean, he's good. You said Nathan. Curtis Rourke was the quarterback. Nathan's his older brother. I'm a Maction guy. I love watching the Maction games. So when you said Nathan, I was like, oh man, Nathan. I remember Nathan Rourke. I was like, wait, was that him? So
both Solich recruits.
Yes, you're staying side. Both really good quarterbacks, dude. Nathan Rourke did his thing, played in the CFL now, went to the NFL Jags for a bit. Was on the Giants practice squad, now back in the CFL. Really good player up there. Now, Curtis Rourke, I mean, he's on the 49ers practice squad still, but I mean, that to your point, I mean, Curtis Rourke came in and everyone's like, who is this guy? Casual football fan who doesn't watch Ohio Bobcats football. He made Curtis Rourke look like a top 10 quarterback. I mean, and then Fernando Mendoza, I mean, you can't sit here right now and say, oh, Fernando Mendoza, I knew this. I mean, he was at Cal last year and he was kind of just there. Cal was a 500 team and with him, and no one expected him to come out here, lead Indiana to an undefeated season so far, win the Heisman Trophy, and possibly be the number one pick in the NFL draft. That is development at its peak, because this guy grew up in Miami too. I don't think have you seen the photo of him where he's in Miami gear on his Miami?
Oh yeah.
This is like a homecoming for him. So a storybook ending for the Mendozas. I mean, that's the story of college football, because this guy was just another guy. He was just another guy, and that's what he is. He doesn't have social media. He's a character too. This guy. I've seen them. Their memes are like he's like if LinkedIn could talk. That's who Fernando Mendoza is. I mean, it's incredible, and they just find ways to win. Like, has every game been a blowout? No. Like the Penn State game was a struggle. Ohio State in the Big Ten title. They just find ways to win. So in this scenario, they might end up in a scenario where it's a close game. And I mean, some people picked it. I thought it'd be a blowout. I thought Indiana would be good enough to shut down Carson Beck. However, Carson Beck is a winner. He wins. That's everywhere he's gone. He's won. Georgia, in Miami, no matter what. He gets a lot of hate too. I never really understood it. Like, is he a top? I mean, his stock's kind of rising, I would say, in the draft, but he's proven the doubters wrong. He gets a lot of hate for, he's kind of like JJ McCarthy to me in college. JJ McCarthy at Michigan just had to make the quick throws, not make mistakes. Defense and my skill guys will make the rest of it, and my O-line will protect me. That's all he's done. The games they've lost were because he made mistakes. If he just plays clean, Miami's got a fighting chance. And so far, the mistake was on special teams. It wasn't on him. So if he just plays clean, I think they have a fighting chance.
Yeah, and he has a chance to go into that legendary status of Miami Hurricane quarterbacks if they're able to pull off this victory tonight. And then a lot of it too was like with him was, I think, just going to Miami the way he did and getting the money that was given to him. And I believe he had a girlfriend at one time that, that kind of plays into it. And it kind of became like social media had really, latched on to the life and times of Carson Beck. Do I really think that's what defines him? I don't think so, but I think he just kind of got caught in that paparazzi life or whatever for a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, his game, his game is about playing quarterback, and he plays it good. He had the game-winning touchdown run, last game. So he's a good player. There's a reason why he's there. It's crazy with Miami. They were, I was hearing they were talking about how they ended up getting the Duke quarterback, and they went down to the final minutes on him. They kind of forgot that they need a quarterback next year. So, but it's
crazy. I mean, that's crazy too with the Duke quarterback. You mentioned him. He was like committed because he could have gone to the draft and been like, third through fifth round pick, second day guy. He goes back. He's like, okay, I'm going back to Duke. Now all of a sudden he's not even in the portal yet. And it's like, there's rumors of him going to Miami. The transfer portal, I've always talked to Harrison about this. I think it's like, there's so much, I don't know, committing word is very loose too. You've seen it with recruits. They commit. Kenny Minchie commits to Nebraska for 70 hours. Maybe I gave him a little bit too much, maybe 48 hours or whatever it was. And then you're pivoting to a quarterback. It's such a weird dynamic. Because Miami is looking for a quarterback. With Carson Beck, where do you think this kind of run helps him get his draft stock? Because the quarterback class this year is not great. Dante Moore's going back. But for Mendoza's the one guy, Ty Simpson, and then after that it's kind of murky. And like Carson Beck, I know the NFL doesn't like the older quarterbacks, but you see guys like Bo Nix, older quarterback, threw him in with a really good coach, Sean Payton, and he found success right away. If you have a guy like Carson Beck who's played 5-6 years of college football, he's won at a high rate, I think it's worth getting a second day draft pick on him.
Yeah, and it's how he mixes with the head coach. Like you need a coach to basically fall in love with you and know what he brings. That was the huge thing with Bo Nix, was like Sean Payton fell in love with Bo Nix and what he offered to a team. And this with Carson Beck, this is going to be the same thing. Like you said, I don't think he'll be a first or second day guy. I think it'll be a third day guy. But it's just where he goes from there. What team did he latches to? Like you got it. The huge thing we're seeing now with quarterbacks is, who is their quarterbacks coach? Who is their head coach? What do they do? I mean, you've seen the decimation of Justin Fields. I mean, I still, at some point in my mind, think if Justin Fields got good with a good offense coordinator, a good quarterbacks coach, and a good head coach, I think he still could be a successful NFL quarterback. But what has happened to him is he's just been tarnished by terrible coaching. And it's probably going to end up putting him out of the NFL, and he's going to look back with a lot of regrets. But I really think that he has the tools. I mean, I don't want to say, after CJ Stroud's performance, but CJ has CJ Stroud abilities, and we've seen CJ Stroud play at a very, very high level. He struggled the last year or two, but I mean, he's still getting his team to the playoffs. He's still. So, but I just feel like it's just so crucial when you're drafted to get drafted to a team that, basically, like, look at Dylan Gabriel right now. Did the Browns fall in love with him? Did Stefanski fall in love? Where'd that come from? Because now you're looking at the Browns, you'd have to think that probably Shedeur is going in as the number one quarterback next year, just with what he brings from the marketing standpoint with the fans and stuff like that. But then wonder if the new coach comes in and says, well, maybe we're going to kick the tires on Deshaun Watson. I mean, this guy's sitting there, making ungodly amount of money for the last 3 years. I played sparingly, 2 years ago, and he's got guaranteed money again next year. So it's like this new coach is going to have options, and who does he fall? It's going to be who does he basically fall in love with, or who does he want to decide his future of, head coaching in the NFL. So you're going to have, basically three candidates there, and the Browns will probably be the Browns again, and they'll probably make the wrong choice.
Miami scores another touchdown, 17-14, fourth quarter just starting here. And here we are,
we got a game.
We got a game. That's all I asked for. There's been too many national championships where, the Georgia TC one runs in my head where I'm like, oh my gosh, this was brutal to watch. I don't know how I watched that entire game, but we're going to go to break. We'll be back. We're going to shift gears to the NFL. We'll keep giving updates on the national championship. You're listening to Raff's Good Take on Sports. We're in 93.7.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in January. Try their hot chocolate latte, cookie croissants, and special winter flavor hot cocoa cream cheese on any bagel. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Can you believe all the empty car lots in Lincoln? How can they survive? Well, they are surviving by charging way too much and making you believe there are no cars available. Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto. I'm here to tell you that they are full of bull stuffing. Come out to Price Right in West Elk and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our Peace of Mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on West O Street at Price Right Auto.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
All right, fellas, it's January. You're setting goals, you're hitting the gym, but have you checked what's going on inside the engine? At Advanced Medical Imaging, the Wellness Within program makes it easy. They have different levels of preventive scans so you can choose exactly what fits your health goals, from quick baseline checks to full body insights. It's simple, it's smart, and it's all about keeping you in top form before problems ever sneak up. And the best part, you don't need a doctor's order. Just call AMI to schedule and make this the year you put your health on the schedule.
If you have a fence, patio, or landscaping project to complete this spring, Sunbelt Rentals is here to help with augers and auger drives in various sizes, plus electric concrete mixers. For tree trimming projects, they have a great selection of chainsaws, pole saws, and hedge trimmers, along with a towable lift or ladder to get you where you need to be. Sunbelt Rentals has everything you need to make your spring projects easy. Sunbelt Rentals, online at sunbeltrentals.com.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
We're back here on 93.7 The Ticket. Nick Wyman, Chris Raff here. Raff's Good Take on Sports. National Championship coming. I mean, it's a good one. 4th down and 5 here. Indiana using a timeout to see they're going to go for it on 4th down. And Mendoza's been off. He has not looked good in second. Only one completion in the entire second half.
Yeah, Miami's turned up the heat. I mean, they pressured him all night long. I mean, I know Coach Signetti was a little fired up at halftime. There were a couple of cheap shots there in the first half that there was a blatant one on the side. The guy probably should have been ejected for targeting, but I've came to the realization now that NCAA, they need to just just get rid of the targeting call altogether because they don't know when to call it. Sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't, and they're taking away from players' participation. I mean, if you have a hit and it's blatant, I guess you award them the 15-yard penalty. But I'm to the point now where you see targeting, but it's like, well, it's a big game. We don't want to take it away. Or you'll see a game where it's a big game and it's probably not a targeting, and then they get them for targeting. It's like, I think everybody is so confused now with the targeting call that I think it's just one of those. I think you just gotta just get rid of it altogether and just assess, unsportsmanlike if it's I guess gruesome. I guess you'd say. I guess targeting is sort of kind of like a catch if you're a Buffalo fan. I guess I don't know.
That was a good segue there. I mean, 402-464-5685 here at the text line. Was that a catch or was that an interception? Is what I'm going to ask you. I know you're a Broncos fan. Was that a catch or was that a pick?
Well, I will say this. I am a Broncos fan, but I try to watch games objectively.
Yes, like a normal person would, yes.
And my thing to this is if he would have came down the way he did and say that McMillan knocked the ball out of his hands, is it a catch or is it incomplete?
I would say it's incomplete then, because if it's knocked out of his hands, he never controlled. It's like the Dez Bryant catch all over again. Did Dez catch it? It's a situation like that. Here's my take on it. The game wouldn't have that play doesn't decide the game if the Bills aren't fumbling the multiple times and like before half with Josh Allen fumbling that ball. Without that happening, the Bills probably are up 3 points at that point. They're not giving away freebie points. So that play in the moment, yes, it's a big play. Could it have been avoided? Yes, because that before the half, I don't know why there's like 10 seconds left and you're running with your quarterback and the ball's just being, held out there like for anybody to rip away. And it's like, oh no. And then the fumble and Denver gets an easy 10-point swing right at the end of the half after that touchdown.
Well, I think the big thing there too is I understand you probably should go to the half because you're getting the ball to start the second half, but you also have Josh Allen and you have time on the clock. You've seen the Patrick Mahomes of the world go down the field in 13 seconds. You're thinking, okay, we're in Denver. Field goals go a little bit further. We have Prater. Prater, I believe, tied the NFL record with the 63-yarder in Denver.
Yep.
So I think his thought process was, hey, maybe Josh Allen completes a pass. We maybe have a chance for like a 50, 55-yard field goal. I don't think Prater's good from 60. I mean, he's been in the NFL for like 17 years now, but I understand their thinking. But, hindsight is 2020. If they would have took the knee, a lot of people would have been going, you have
you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Why aren't you trying to get points?
Why are you taking a knee? So I see it from both sides. I mean, looking back on it, it was just the securing of the ball. That was the issue there. Running with it loose like that, and with Benito coming and stripping it. But yeah, but going back to the catch, interception, it's like that's what I keep on thinking for myself is if he would have went to the ground and McMillan knocked the ball out of his hands, it would have been an incomplete pass because it would have been like he didn't have the ball for to call it a catch. So they went to the ground and he takes it from him, and everybody's like, well, it's a catch. Well, what makes it a catch that he only had the ball for what? Maybe, I mean, there's pictures on the internet, but that's a picture. But if you watch it in real time, he probably I don't think he ever had the ball secured, to be honest with you. He's coming down. He kind of had it cradled. It's like he only had the ball in his hands for maybe a 10th of a second at that. So it would not have been a catch. If the ball would have went flying out of there, like just tumbled to the ground, it would have been an incomplete pass.
And the more you slow it down, the more you can nitpick and say, oh yeah, here's where he had possession. But in real time, it's, it's such a fast movie. Broncos, I mean, what was your reaction? You win the game, go to overtime, you beat the Bills 33-30, hosting the AFC Championship game. What was your reaction when you heard about the Bo Nix situation with the injury ankle where he's going to be out? I guess, did you think it was? I thought it was fake at first. I was like, am I getting hoaxed here on Twitter? Is this one of those fake accounts? I'm like, is this real? Like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's out for next week. It's like, okay. And then it's like, oh, Jarrett Stidham's going to be the quarterback. I'm like, what? And I was like, oh, this is real.
Well, this is what happened for me. Is the game gets over with. He does the interview with Tracy Wolfson on the sideline.
Yep.
Nothing, everything's going smooth. But what I usually do after every game is I always tune over to the Broncos radio network because I like to hear the post. I like hearing Sean Payton's post-game press conference and like hearing Bo Nix talk. Well, they come out and Sean Payton talks. He does his normal press conference. And I'm like, okay, we're good. And then it gets to the point, I believe Nick Bonito comes out and they interview Nick Bonito. And I'm sitting there like, okay, so Bo will be out next. Well, next thing I know, Bo's not coming out. They roll out another, I think of McMillan, I think came out and talked. Bo hasn't came out yet. I'm like, oh, there's something not going right here. And then you see, then Sean Payton comes out in he's already changed clothes out of his coaching gear. He's got he looked like a mountain man. He had his jacket on. He comes up to the podium and goes, hey guys, I just want to clarify some things. And so I knew something was up when Bo Nix didn't come out to do his post-game press conference. Did I know that it was going to be that drastic? No, I did not. But then when you go back and watch the tapes and you watch even his post-game press conference with Tracy Wolfson, we got a touchdown in the
Mendoza, just 4th and 5 QB draw, gets it, breaks off a tackle, and just leaped into the end zone while getting hit. It was the Heisman moment, probably after the Heisman moment. But here, I mean, put the team on your back, fella. That's literally what that was. But yeah, I mean, I had the same reaction. As a Chiefs fan, it was like, wow, it's like I can't imagine going in, like, let's say Patrick Mahomes got hurt and then Gardner Minshew's coming in for the AFC champion. I couldn't imagine the feeling. It's just, it's never really happened. It's a very unprecedented moment. I mean, the Jarrett Stidham, I mean, if they beat the Patriots with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback, and Jarrett Stidham is a Super Bowl starting quarterback and has his name in the same sentence as a guy like John Elway and Peyton Manning, that is a awesome story that I can get behind. Because it's like, this guy, I mean, how many the people know the backup quarterback? I mean, you and me, obviously, being sports fans, but like the casual fans coming in and you're watching the Super Bowl or whatever, it's like, oh, this guy's been sitting on, this guy's only played one snap and it was a kneel down. This guy has barely seen any action in 3 years and he might be playing this. It's like Nick Foles, but like twice as crazy. It's a scenario that's unprecedented that I am all for it because it'd be awesome to see, just to see, if the Broncos somehow won the Super Bowl on Jarrett Stidham's back, I mean, he's probably, the Jets might sign this guy next. I don't know his contract. Somebody might sign this guy for big dollars. You saw it with Nick Foles. Nick Foles got a career out of it pretty much. I mean, he bounced around the league for a bit with the Chiefs and so on. And then he ended up with the Eagles. Carson Wentz goes down in the regular season and he gets kind of thrown in the fire. And it's like, no way. They're playing Tom Brady. There's no way they're beating him. And he let him. Philly special. I mean, the legacy, it's still Philly special, still a thing to today.
Oh yeah. Well, I was thinking about this tonight. If Jarrett Stidham leads the Broncos to two victories, does that make him a Broncos Ring of Fame player? I mean, does he become one of the most beloved players in franchise history? I mean, he's got basically two games. I mean, like you said, if he wins these next 2 games, he's probably going to have a chance to start somewhere. He's going to be coming into a lot more money. And I think you go down as one of the most beloved Broncos players in history just off 2 games. It's crazy, but to think that. So I'm interested to see, how he plays. Then there's the storyline too, that he's going back to play New England, who he played for originally. He was coached, I believe Josh McDaniels was there the year he played with when Tom Brady was there. Yeah. 2019, I believe. So there's some storylines there. It's definitely going to be interesting, but sometimes not playing, like, I know he's played against the Broncos, starting defense in practice, he plays like that scout team quarterback, but we all know when the real game starts, the speed of the game amps up. There's a practice speed and there's a game speed. That's what I'm going to be most curious about, to see, not playing all year other than one kneel down, whether he's going to be able to adjust to the speed, because the New England, their defense, I mean, they're a good defense. They're a great team. And I'm just curious to see how he's able to adjust to the speed of the game. I think that's the one concern that I have, because knowledge of the offense, remember, he was in Denver for 3 years. He was there with Russell Wilson. Actually, when they benched Russell Wilson, he got the start for the Broncos 3 years ago in a game. So he's got the knowledge that the offense, what they do on offense, I don't think is going to change any, because he's got mobility, he's got a big arm, he's got, he's what, Sean Payton looks for in a quarterback. It's just how will he adjust to the speed of, real game play and playing at that level of football, because you're not, coming in and playing against I don't want to say the Browns, because their defense is really, you're not playing against like the Jets or somebody like that.
The Jets are catching strays here tonight. When the quarterback situation, now it's the New York Jets. So I have 3 things about this situation. So Jarrett Stidham was like one of the first players that Sean Payton signed in free agency when he took over. So he had a vision for what he wanted in a backup quarterback. And Stidham's been around. I mean, he was a Patriots draft pick, played Auburn. I think he was the quarterback when Scott Frost and UCF beat Auburn in that bowl game. He was the quarterback during that game, which is a crazy timeline. Goes to the Patriots. He's a Bill Belichick draft pick. Crazy enough. Doesn't work out there. Obviously, Cam Newton beat him out for the job. He gets traded to the Raiders, where Josh McDaniels was the coach. Josh McDaniels obviously was the OC, still is now, when he went back after his Raiders. So do you know his debut game, his first career start in the NFL? Do you know how he did?
Oh, was it the one where he against the number 1 defense? He had a really good game.
It was against the 49ers, New Year's Day 2023, week 17 game. So it's kind of a throwaway game in a sense. The Raiders were not good at this point, and he was in there just because at the end of Derek Carr's tenure. 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, and he threw for 365 yards in a overtime 34-37 loss. So he can sling it. He's not just, this isn't just, some Mo show. Like, he can sling it, and he's been around forever. And the last thing I will say about this game is New England history is not on their side playing at Mile High. 0-4 all time in the playoffs. Tom Brady was 0-3 against Denver. He lost to Jake Plummer once, and he lost to Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Jarrett Stidham. It's Stidham time. I mean, I'm all for it, just because it's like, it's one of those stories where, like, I can see the graphic now. Sunday's running out on the field, last start 2023 or whatever, and here's his career stats. It's like this guy who's, I mean, it's so, like, if he played a couple little bit of games, like let's say Denver won, but Denver didn't really have a lot of blowout games or a lot of close games. So if he played like a game or two where he was, throwing it a little bit in the fourth quarter while Denver was up a lot, or Bo Nix was hurt a bit, I'd be like, okay. Like if he was kind of like a Jameis Winston type of guy. But no, he's kind of been around the league, and 1 kneel down is a crazy stat. I was kind of shocked that was the only game that he's appeared in.
And another thing too that I'll say about Jarrett Stidham too is he's been a class act, because he was coming into the season after they got rid of Russell Wilson, thinking he was going to be the starting quarterback, because they had this young quarterback from Oregon that they were bringing in, but they thought he was probably going to kind of do that Patrick Mahomes, maybe sit out the first year. So Jarrett Stidham was coming in thinking he was a starting quarterback. He'd been working out with all the receivers and everything in the summer. Comes in, they end up giving Bo Nix a starting job, and a complete class act. I mean, he came out. I remember when Sean Payton came out and said that they were giving the job to Bo Nix, and Jarrett Stidham did an interview, and he said, "Hey, he's like, I believe I'm a starting quarterback in this league. I believe I am. But, I'm going to do everything in my power, to get Bo Nix ready and, do what I can do to help Bo." And with that, I mean, the friendship is not just between them, it's between the families, between the wives, the families. And so just the class act that he's been, just from that, he hasn't been, a detriment, no way. And that he's, stayed and to back up, Bo Nix way he has it. I'm looking for, I mean, at first, I won't lie, when it first was announced, you just kind of have that sick feeling in your stomach, because Bo Nix has been the guy that's, basically driven a lot of those comebacks late, during the season. And he's been the guy, pulling the trigger for the Broncos. And all of a sudden it's like, it's done. He'll be in Birmingham tomorrow. I offered my services. If he needs a ride or anything tomorrow, I'm there. I will be there.
Autograph or something.
Yeah, I'll be there in a heartbeat to help the, Bo out if he needs a ride to the hospital or whatever he needs. I'm here. But so now he has this, this opportunity is afforded to him. I mean, like I said, it's like, I guess there's really nothing to lose, because if they lose, people are just going to come back and be like, Well, they didn't have Bo Nix. So I think you push all your chips to the table and, go after it, and whatever happens, happens.
24-14, Indiana leading with about 7.5 minutes to play. We'll bring back with one more final segment here on Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Winter is upon us. Is your home prepared? If your furnace isn't keeping up or you've thought about replacing it, John Henry's has a new year, new unit special. When you purchase a select heating and cooling system from John Henry's, we will give you the furnace for free. There are also equipment and LES rebates up to an additional $850. This offer expires February 28th, so don't miss out. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Boyk Farm Outfitters. With the holidays behind us, our team is already looking ahead to the 2026 season. And to help you get ready, we're hosting our second annual expo at our location near Exeter, January 27th. The expo covers 8 topics that matter to your farm. We'll discuss fungicides in heavy disease environments, liquid systems for your planter and how to choose the right one, how Washington is viewing important ag topics, and much more. Don't forget to stick around afterwards for the happy hour. Check out BoykFarmOutfitters.com for more info, and we'll see you there.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Well, there's a game going on down in Miami. Malachi Tony, 22-yard rushing touchdown, 24-21. Anything you could ask for in a championship game. Raff's Good Take on Sports. Nick Wyman alongside Chris Raff here in 92.7 The Ticket. Can't ask for much more. Best 2 teams in the country going at it. This is all I wanted to see.
Yeah, we might have a a league low in viewers tonight because this game is getting crazy. So
I mean, yeah, Pearsonell and me might have to have a live reaction watch along here, and instead of a show, we could have a vlog. We could be like one of those YouTubers who just record the reactions, and we can clickbait oh my gosh, look all shocked, and we can they'll clip us for years to come. Be like, here was their reaction to the championship game. But you know what else is going on? Nebraska basketball is taking world by storm. 7th ranked in the country, highest ranking in program history. I mean, pinch me. It's a dream. It's a dream. You can't ask for much more.
Yeah, it's wild. It's incredible. The thing now that I'm curious to see is when Nebraska finally does lose a game, do they drop down? Are they going to be as kind with the other teams that have lost a game, or is it going to be, it's Nebraska and, drop them like 7 spots, or are they going to be kind-hearted like they have with the other teams that have lost a game? I'm kind of curious to see when that happens, how that happens, or Nebraska just decides to go undefeated and not give them that opportunity. But we shall see.
Perfect world. It's. I think it's going to depend on who they lose to. I mean, if they lose to tomorrow to Washington or whatever, or Wednesday to Washington, then yeah. If they lose to Minnesota is a tough team. I think that is a sneaky play up there in the barn up there. They have that elevated court, kind of a weird situation. I thought Northwestern would be a little tricky, and they proved me wrong. They handled business up there at Welsh Ryan Arena. The Michigan collision course is what we're trying to. I mean, you got to take it one game and again, but that Michigan Ann Arbor collision course is kind of the one everybody's circling. But I think you have to handle business first. So it's a unique situation. I think nobody is perfect. It's hard to go perfect in college basketball. I think the closest we've seen was that Kentucky team with Karl Anthony Towns and company. They were pretty close, and they lost to Frank Kaminsky. The tournament's a weird time, so I think losing one would also help, I think, because there's a lot of pressure. They know they're the talk of the town. You lose one, so be it. I think the goal is 20 to get that magic number to get in the tournament. They've proved that, mid-January here, and they're almost there to 20 wins already. If you would have told me that back in, October when the season began, I would have called you, been like, all right, turn off the Xbox. Get back to reality here. They're going to, go 19-13 and make the tournament. But what a situation. It's so unique. You got Indiana winning in football. You got Nebraska basketball ranked up there with your Dukes and your Houstons. It's such a unique situation, and it's awesome. They are the talk of the town here.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's fun to watch, and it's cool just the must watch that Nebraska basketball's, became. Like we were talking about this a week ago. I think now you look at Nebraska athletics, it's like Nebraska volleyball, Nebraska basketball, and then maybe Nebraska football. Maybe you
don't know. Sky's the limit.
It's wild. It's wild to watch. So we'll continue to, be ready to, hear Kent Pavelka go crazy. I mean, I think he makes it through the regular season. We'll see. It's game by game with him.
So the rumor right now is they might be bringing back the spring game, which would be on the same date as the Elite Eight. Yeah. So that is I think it'd be fine because if the spring games at like noon, and then games at I think it's like 5:09. They usually start at weird times. I mean, if you want to go to the game, go to wherever the Elite Eight is, sure. But if you want to attend the spring game, go to that. Have your day, and then go watch go down to the rail yard or something, go watch that. Then sure. It's such a unique situation where that's usually not a thing people plan for. I'm going to go watch Nebraska basketball in late March. Last year we did get it with the Crown at least, so that was the test run.
Well, okay, so we're getting way ahead of ourselves here, way ahead of ourselves. But I am going to give the university marketing department and the university the perfect scenario for this.
All right,
if Nebraska makes it to the Elite Eight, you schedule your game about 2.5 hours before the game starts, and you play the game on Husker Vision after the spring game.
Oh, and you just have a little watch party. All right.
Bingo.
Have a little watch party with the, how many people, because it's never full, but you can have a couple thousand people there and they can watch. That would be something.
Well, if you go legit spring game mixed with the watch party, I think you go 50, 2 for 1,000. And you have alcohol sales there.
Now you get food. You gotta find the workers and find the. You might be onto something, Chris. You might be onto something. So that is a situation that I didn't really think. So
Yep.
Well, this was fun. This was my first time with you. I'm Raff Rohde officially.
Oh, before we leave, a quick Raff's Good Take. I just want to give it out to the Martin Luther King youth rally that took place today for Martin Luther King Day.
Yep.
I listened to Bigger Than the Score on Sunday. Kendall Jackson and Jamerson Hughes Jr., they participated today. Two of the most well-spoken young individuals I've heard in a very long time. So everybody who participated today, you guys are Raff's Good Take.
Yep, that is it. Raff leaving here. Des Moines Pearsonell and me on Don't Punt Hour, and then late night in Lincoln with myself. 3 minutes ago, we got a ball game. This is exciting. This is everything you could ask for. Thank you, Raff. We'll see you tomorrow. You'll be with Harrison. Have a good night. I'll be here with Des Moines here in a second. You're listening to 90.7 The Ticket.